Dallas Stars captain Jamie Benn has been suspended for 2 games for cross-checking in last night's NHL playoff game. We'll discuss what happened and what it could mean even moving into next season, possibly coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, Dallas Stars captain Jamie Benn has been announced to be suspended by NHL Player Safety for 2 playoff games or regular season games should it carry over to next regular season. At this point in time, we don't know the Dallas Stars are going to survive game 4 or not. They're down 3-0 to the Vegas Golden Knights. So if Dallas loses game 4, then Jamie Benn will be suspended and sit out on opening night of the 23-24 regular season. But ultimately, barely 2 minutes into last night's game, things derailed very quickly. First of all, Vegas scored very quickly. Jonathan Marchessault on a really nice goal a minute or so into the game. And then shortly after that, barely by the 2-minute mark, Jamie Benn's coming up the boards with the puck. Mark Stone's closing in on him, trying to close the gap to obviously engage the battle for the puck. Benn flips the puck off the boards and out. And then from there tries to jump around Stone. As he tries to go around him from the backside, he does take him down. And then he decides to make a deliberate decision, in my opinion, which what's what player safety said, goes down on his knees and cross-checks him forcefully into the head and neck area. And it kind of looks like it kind of does drive his head into the ice a little bit. Thankfully, obviously has his helmet on and everything like that. But still, like, it's a very dangerous play, and there was clearly intent. Now, he got a 5-minute major, and the game misconduct. Cross-checking majors automatically come with an ejection. The game misconduct attached to it. So, like 2 minutes into the game, they're already down a goal, and they lose their captain. And then Vegas scores again on this power play. They go up 2-0, and then it just kept spiraling from there. Within no time, it was 3-0, and then Vegas went on to have a 4-0 victory last night. But Dallas, you could tell early on they looked tired, and then they were depleted quickly, and it just kind of spiraled out of control. It's just really quite that simple. But Jamie Benn is their captain. He's their leader. This was completely unnecessary. He needs to be able to control his temper and control himself so these things don't happen. He does have a bit of a history. He does have a situation back in, I think it was 2021, where he did a similar action against Dylan Larkin of the Red Wings. He did not get any discipline for that. But he has been fined, I believe, on 4 different occasions for other types of incidents on the ice. So he does have a bit of a mean temper. This does surface from time to time. But, this is really just inexcusable, in my opinion. Completely inexcusable. I know a lot of people were really on him as well for putting himself in that predicament, being the captain of the team. I'm forcing him to kill off a 5-minute penalty so early in the game, give all momentum to Vegas, and then, of course, he's not available to play. And then on top of things, he did not speak to the media after the game, which I know irritated a lot of people as well. A lot of people were saying that he's such a stand-up guy. He's going to own this one. But then he avoids the media and doesn't speak, which I know, like I said, it irritated people. Now, I will cut him a little slack that way. Maybe the Dallas Stars team did not make him not available, and they didn't tell him he didn't have to. Like, it was not like they told him not to, but I wonder if he was kind of told, listen, you're probably going to have a hearing for this. Maybe you shouldn't speak just yet. But then he comes in this morning, pregame, before he had his hearing, and he still spoke to the media. So he still talked to the media before having a hearing. I don't know. And here, his quote that came from the media availability was, I would have liked to have not fallen on him and used my stick as a landing point. That's the best he could come up with after avoiding the media all night and sleeping on it and coming in the next day. That's what he came up with. Like, you didn't fall on him at all. Like, you completely went down on your knees purposely because you had complete control of the situation and forcefully cross-checked him in the head. Basically, you lost your temper and you did something stupid. You put your team in a bad spot. Your season is likely over now. The odds of Dallas surviving Game 4 and Game 5 and pushing it to a Game 6 at this point, I'd say looks slim. On top of that, Jake Ottinger, their franchise goaltender, had a bad night. They lost Dadonov to injury as well, not too far into the game. So, like, the team was really hurt and depleted, early on. This was not good. And, now Benn's out for Games 4 and Game 5 should there be necessary. He's only going to be able to return if Game 6 is necessary, which at this point I'd say probably isn't looking too good. Both the East and West finals are looking like they're very well good chances of being sweeps, but I don't know. In my opinion, this was really dumb, avoidable, unnecessary. I am a little bit surprised in a way he got 2 games just based on what we've seen earlier in the playoffs from Alex Pietrangelo. When he gets suspended, I mean, he gave him a 2-handed hard slash on, I believe it was Draisaitl of the Oilers, that he only got a game. So, and neither of these players have it. Suspension history. Benn does have more of a history with player safety when it comes to being fined. I guess maybe that factored in with the video that George Paris put out. Didn't really say. Then he saw the Michael Bunting suspension earlier on in round 1 with a 3-gamer, which they're just so inconsistent. I don't know how they became to this, especially you want to factor in that it happened so early in last night's game that he missed 58 of 60 minutes. So to miss 2 on top of that, they obviously think it's worthy of 3 playoff games. And 3 playoff games would normally be worth about 6 regular season games. And to be worth that much with no suspension history, I do find it surprising. I'm not saying that I disagree with it because it was deliberately intentional and dangerous and stupid. And I really think it never should have happened. So I don't have an issue with the number of games. What I have the issue with is the lack of consistency that they've shown. That's the one thing they're consistent with, is that they're inconsistent. You never know what the number of games is going to be. You can't predict it in the least. But let me know your thoughts on Jamie Benn's suspension. Is this going to be carried over to next season because of the Dallas Stars likely, at this point, looking like they might go out in 4 straight? Let me know your thoughts on the play, the suspension, and whether or not it carries over down in the comments. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and stick around. We'll keep you up to date with the latest news, rumors, and analysis of all 32 NHL teams. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.